Gentlemen, we must be strong. We are here today to forge forward with all of our might. 8 wills have fallen, but we still get up. Will the ninth has perseverance, and though he may be frostbitten, he believes that this can still be the run where he can make it 50 days. Will's not going to let up. We're going to keep on riding, and we believe that we can go through the trepidatious, barely visible, long dark. What's going on, baby? We are doing the long dark. This is one of the coolest games ever. I love it so much, and I think about it 24/7. We take the Sundays to really reflect upon the week full of wills and excitement, and we have fury and might moving forward. Last episode, we started in Pleasant Valley, and we were able to procure some of the essential forging items required to get the bow, which is the hunting goal of what we're taking part in. We are taking part in the Furry Then Silence tournament that you can find on the TLD Challenge website, where you can see all kinds of cool tournaments listed there for whatever type of survivor you are. We are in more of a hunting tournament with this, and we are taking part in the Interloper division, which is kind of right in the middle. It's not the easy one, but it's definitely not the hardest. Regardless, we've been passing away left and right, and we've been having a real tough time just keeping our vitals afloat as we try to procure all of those essential items prior to making our weapon of choice. Last episode saw us acquiring, I believe, a hacksaw maybe, or a heavy hammer in the Red Barn there in Pleasant Valley. So we're going to make our way over to Coastal Highway today, grab that hacksaw, get some lovely saplings, maple and birch, and then also get some food, probably some fire starting stuff and everything we need to travel over to Desolation Point, where we're going to forge with all of our amazing coal and get it going. This is not going to be a messing around, and because we're going to get right to it. The longest dark, baby. Here we go. All right, so if you can't tell, I'm super excited. Last time, over the weekend, I actually did my first off-stream gaming. I played maybe a little hour or so on a speedrun feat, trying to actually go around and get campfires lit and coffee brewed, also spending time outside. I really didn't play too much, but eventually I want to be able to get feats, because in the tournament you're allowed to have some of them on, and I feel like I'm at a disadvantage. I'm already at a disadvantage with me being ridiculous, so I definitely need to have the feats to make up for that nonsense. But we are on Will the Ninth. Currently we are held up in the community center over here in Pleasant. We got hopes and dreams in our eyes, and I truly believe that this is going to be the time when we forge forward with all of our might. All right, let's go over here and load Will the Ninth, baby. He's the ninth, but he's just as important as all of them. All right, here we go. All right. We're at the lovely community center, where you can still hear people's bingo phrases echoing through the halls. What used to be a local bingo and town hall meeting location is now a source of refuge for our main man, Will. Looks like we're a bit hungry and cold, so we should probably start by lighting a fat fire and getting some Big Moose kicks going, along with these foods. Okay, so one step at a time, we're going to make moves. Another thing I might do is light a torch rather than using the matches to start the fire. And then we'll start the fire with our torch. There it is. Hey, what's going on, Cyrus? I appreciate you hanging out, bud. You are helping out the TLD community. I think that's awesome. Yeah, we're in the Interloper division here. We're going to be doing everything I can to just keep our vitals going. We're going to have things against us since we have frostbite, but that's not going to deter us from trying our best. Okay, what do you say we cook up some of this banged up tomato soup? Give it a shot. All right. Whoop. All right, now we'll put our recycled can there, and you know it, Big Moose kicks. Let's put a little more fuel here in the fire. We got 42 minutes. Oop. Yeah, we'll put away our torch for now. The whistling winds of the winter howling outside the community center. So we've pretty much checked out most of the areas here in Pleasant. I kind of just wanted to go to the foraging tool location spawns to try to see if we can get that hammer and the pry bar and stuff. So far we have the pry bar and the hammer, and we only need one key essential item left, which is the hacksaw. And then we'll try as much as we can to basically get the saplings, place them in what will be our base over in Coastal, which is going to be the gas station at Quonset. And I believe that we can actually... Oh, let me take this. I believe we'll be able to dry that stuff there in the gas station and start doing some fires next to down does. What I'm hoping is prior to actually making our bow, what we're going to have to continue doing is scavenging. So we're going to look for deer to get attacked by wolves. Then we'll come up to those wolves with our torch or a flare, throw it at the wolves, scare them off, and pump fake them with the stone. And so from there, they'll be scared, run away, and we can steal some of their lovely venison from the deer. So we're going to jiggle some of this food here by double right clicking it so it'll stay hot forever. So that's kind of the game plan. We're going to take off, we're going to go through the abandoned mine, and then we're going to actually go to Coastal. And that'll be the greatest adventure that anybody's ever seen. We're going to survive and thrive. Alright, so we're going to jiggle all this stuff here. And then I believe there is a long shot that I have a thermos, baby. Nice. So a portable container for keeping beverages warm. So now we can use our insulated flask and actually put this hot coffee here inside that flask, which will make for a wonderful warm beverage on the run. We'll start off by drinking a coffee, and then when we lose the buffs from that coffee, then we'll drink another one. But since we have frostbite, we're pretty much always going to be battling vitals over here. Our temperature is going to be forever basically dwindling down the second we leave the threshold of our door from whatever place we're staying in. So to get that HP that's currently probably around 35 to 40% there in the bottom left up to something viable like 100 maybe, then we're going to have serious sleep and sweet herbal tea before we go to sleep and different things to try to get our HP up. Sleep in big chunks for about 10 hours, stuff like that. So we'll take our big chunk sleep over at Quonset if we can make it there. And we're going to procure so much coal when we go through the abandoned mine. It's going to be insano. Captain Insano. Alright, so I think it'd be a good time to eat some of this stuff. Okay, we've jiggled everything and it stays hot because of that. It's a really cool feature. So let's eat some of this soup. Get some sustenance. Alright, now it's time to eat peaches. Sounds like there's a blizzard out there. When there's a blizzard, it usually means you're staying put for a little bit. Okay, let's see how we transfer into our thermos these hot cups of coffee. Okay, here we go. Wonderful. You can put 0.8 kilograms in there, which is actually a ton of coffee. So I can put all 3 of these coffees in there and still have room for 5 more if we wanted to make it. So let's bust out our torch and light it with this still lit fire here. A big thing that you have to do on Interloper and definitely on Nagoa Light is conserve the matches you have. Because the matches are going to be the key to starting the fire, which is basically the only thing keeping you alive if you're traveling around with frostbite on a tough difficulty. So we're going to take off from the community center when the weather provides us with an opening to do so. Let's see if there's anything here we can optimize. Looks like we could take a good repair job on our ragged ski jacket. So let's see if we can boost this thing up to 62%. Okay, now we can go up to 92%. And when you repair your clothes, you'll see the buffs for heat and windproof actually go up for whatever item it is. So now we're at 1.8 Celsius with regards to what kind of heat retaining that we get from our ski jacket. So we got some ragged t-shirts over here we can use for cloth if we're trying to repair this bad boy. So let's tear apart some of our ragged t-shirts and use them to repair our mittens, which could potentially go to be the warmest hand wraps we have after that. So we'll harvest. Here we go. Okay, we got 1 cloth from that ragged shirt. So now we'll do some repairing to our decent fleece mittens. Repair. And it's very easy to accidentally harvest one of your cool clothing items when you're trying to repair it. So just take your time as much as you can when you're in there, and you'll be good to go. Okay, so our hydration is a little low. We're going to need to drink some of this lovely toilet water. We have 4.7 liters. We're rising high. Okay, so our vitals are doing their thing. Temperature's pretty nice. Our clothes are getting improved by the second. Alright, so now we got some socks we're going to repair. So let's harvest these sport socks. The wind. Quiets. Okay, we'll repair. And now we'll actually get these up to about 70%. So it looks like we lost what was left of the day due to the blizzard. So I think what we can do is chill and just have a nice evening here at the community center, and we'll be good to go. Repair these. Boom. All right. So now our socks, 84% and 90, which is going to be great when we're out there running around. So to have these repaired, you actually need a cloth and leather. And for us, I believe we're out of both. So we're going to need to tear apart a piece of clothing we don't need, and then also make some sort of... Okay, what do we think about this? One's going to be nice and warm, so we probably should lean into this one and then tear apart this one. Okay, so we're going to harvest this bad boy and then repair our red scarf. What a treat. Eating some salty crackers. All right, here we go. Actions, repair. Okay, so a nice little maintenance session here where we're being responsible survivors, improving what we have, as much as we can prior to a big journey through a mine and to a new town. It's going to require patience and perseverance. All right. Let's tear apart our last ragged t-shirt for the cloth. And then repair this wool toque, representing the Great White North. All right, repair. And this will give me 100% on this toque. So now our resistance to... Oh, failed. Okay, I gotta find some more cloth around here at the community center. Let's go into Blue Outline World. And we'll go over to the curtains. Curtains are a great source of on-the-go cloth if you don't have any extra clothes to tear up. And I've mentioned this prior, but it's also a really good idea to not be in Blue Outline World when you tear apart the curtains so that you don't lose the material. If you tear stuff up while you're in customization mode, it won't actually give you the materials. So just exit Blue Outline mode before you tear up the curtains if you're in the dark and you're repairing the long dark. All right, so I feel like we got a pretty good situation here. We got plus 10 Celsius warm bonus. Windproof is decent, protection, and our sprint is money. So I believe that Will is set up for success. He could use some work boots if we can find some, and maybe some improvements to these shoes. So the last thing we could do is check to see if there's anything leather here we could tear up and use that leather for his running shoes. So what in this place is leather? Don't know. I don't know if any of these rugs are leather. Probably not. Be silly. Okay, so Blue Outline World, our closest friend, as we constantly meander around in the long dark. And I think that leather is going to elude us on this run, unless there's anything in this trunk. Okay, so we're going to keep the shoes the way they are. Let's offboard any extra stuff we won't need for our journey. Okay, so we got painkillers, the stem, some bandages, antibiotics, all the thing you could need if you get attacked by some wild animals on your journeys. We're running a little bit low on the key essentials for food. We got one banged up peaches. We got a flask full of amazing Big Moose kicks. And a dream. We could prepare some rose hips. Rose hips are a great healing natural tea, and it can actually help you if you don't have the stuff you need. Let's drink some more of this lovely toilet water and prepare the rest of these rose hips. Then we're going to take a big block of sleep after a meal. Blue Outline. We'll go over here and we'll eat our peaches. Though I would have loved to eaten them warm for more calories. We'll just take the hit on it, eat them out of the can, and taste a little hint of Savannah, Georgia as we eat our final meal of the day. All right, go over here. And we're going to sleep. So our food isn't as high as we'd like it to be tonight, and we're probably going to wake up in a ravenous state. However, I don't know that we have too much in the way of food around here, so it's going to be how it has to be. All right, let's do this. 10 hours of sleep, and let's see how far up that HP goes. Right now, it's about 40%. This is our moment. Sleep is basically the best. Hey, Atreyu, what's going on, man? How are you? We're taking a big chunk of sleep right now, hoping to regain that HP because we are frostbitten. And one of the pleasant things that I discovered is that you get to stay frostbitten for your whole run. More calories burned than you have. Well, you are a true champion. Because I think that means I'm going to wake up and lose HP because I don't have enough food in me before sleep. So here's the problem. We're on Interloper, and I don't have food anywhere, basically. I've looked through everybody's cabinets and stuff, and there really is not too much in the way of loot available. So I could chug some coffee out of my thermos if the calories are that important. I know it's not a big calorie burst, but is it maybe more of an optimal move to burn through some cups of joe to maintain the calories rather than sleeping without them? I'll start to learn kind of the give and take of these things with regards to the HP and the sleep and all that stuff. I do know that you mentioned sleeping for big chunks of time is actually really good, so we're going to try to do 10 hours. But since you're mentioning calories, that was what was on my mind. I thought maybe he'll lose HP if he's hungry all night. He's in a ravenous state, I believe. Yeah, he's ravenous. So he's going to wake up as a Baltimore Raven in the morning. Yeah, I wish I had a nice box of sweet dreams I could brew up. Fortunately, things are a little slim pickings for old Will the Ninth. This is what his food and drink is looking like. A big batch of toilet water and 2 cups of Big Moose Kicks. One great thing, though, Atreyu, is check this out. We have a flask, baby. This is my first flask ever. And so we were able to transfer these cups of coffee. They're cold now, but boy, they were hot and jiggled when they entered this flask. All right, so you transfer them out, and let's just sleep. We'll sleep for 10 solid hours and see where our HP goes, because we're at 40%, and I believe that we could gain some even being hungry. All right, here it goes. I gotta be honest, I'm scared to go to sleep because it seems like the last couple wills have met their demise when they've gone to sleep. One time I should have gone to sleep for 1 hour and I picked 10. And I passed away into the long dark because of my vitals. So I'm a little skittish now about sleep, even with the trepidatious path of the Interloper longest of dark. All right, I'm sleeping. Stop yapping and sleep, Mackenzie. Get it going. This game's so great. So how's everything in your world, Atreyu? I was actually so glad to see you do another tournament. In my head, I was like, oh, he's done with this tournament run. Maybe he won't stream anymore. And I actually love checking out your streams. So I was so happy that you dove right into Highway 99. Highway 99 is a lot about map knowledge and loot pool recognition and stuff. So you can learn a lot checking those streams out. I highly recommend it to anybody that loves the long dark. Okay, it's morning. We got about 15 HP, and we're in kind of a rough way with regards to our vitals, especially the food. So I'm going to drink a nice cold cup of coffee. And I'm also going to stay inside because there is a ridiculously insane blizzard going on for the second day straight. Our responsible clothes repairs have us nice and warm though now, and I believe that we're poised for success as long as we can scavenge some sort of deer from the local wolves. What we could do is start a fire and grab a couple more torches since we got 10 kilograms worth of backpack left. That might be another responsible move because we're going to have a long journey all the way to, what's it called? We could also make some of this prepared rose hips. All right, that's what we're doing. We're starting a fire. Okay, start fire. Torch, cattail, and book. We sleep for 10 hours because after that you're thirsty. Drink before sleep next time. 8-year anniversary. Oh my gosh. You did it, man. Excellent. That is awesome, dude. 8 years. Amazing 8. That's awesome, dude. I'm sure you have, you're going to lay out some nice rosehip mementos for her, similar to Messi. Court her appropriately. And give her the day of her life. Alright. Enough shenanigans. What am I supposed to be doing right now? Oh. Let's prepare some rose hips. Alright. So I had another responsible plan I was going to take part in with this fire. What was the other responsible thing? Oh, torches. Okay, we'll add some fire to the thing here so we can grab some torches out of here. Alright, I'm going to throw this ruined one in there. Boom. And then take the torch. So you extinguish and then you push H and it puts it away. So Trey, we have the pry bar and the heavy hammer here in Pleasant, and we're going to try to grab the hacksaw in Coastal. I know that both the saplings are over there in Coastal, and then we're going to get a ton of coal from the abandoned mine on our journey over there. There's a trillion of them in there. And then we're going to be prepared for the forge when we get to Desolation, and we're going to make our first bow ever. For the last 3 sessions of Long Dark, I've talked about this bow. And it's all just been lip service thus far. But today is the day, potentially, when we make it. Spoken with true confidence. Alright. Let's jiggy with it. Boom. Just add one more book to this bad boy. Make sure these guys get nice and hot. Add them to the flask. It's on. Rose hips on the bed. A trail of Rishi into the bedroom. Is she a fan of the old TLD? She probably has to be just by proxy at this point. I feel like TLD is a pretty universally great game. Even if you're not a gamer, you might kind of enjoy just the ambiance and the beautiful simplicity of it. Okay, there we go. Now let's throw these bad boys in our flask for the transfer. Oh, so I guess the rosehip tea doesn't get transferred to your thermos. You are not allowed. Because I don't see the items in the inventory that you can put over there. Got it. That didn't do much. Okay. So we've been through quite a journey here, Trey. I have died 8 times attempting to make this run. I did Stalker for a good chunk of them, and the last couple have been on Interloper. I don't think we've ever avoided Frostbite. I think the toughest thing is that you just kind of spawn in the middle of nowhere. And as it fades in from dark, I'm running around in my orange running shoes that we're actually still wearing. And I never make it to like an inside building before I even catch it, because I'm running around without even all this cool gear on. So I have a real tough time just kind of getting to the spot before the frostbite sets in. I think that map knowledge will help me with that, and I'll get a little closer each time towards sprinting to a cabin prior to the frostbitten nature of Jack Frost. So We're going to have to deal with the frostbite, but it's only 50 days. You know, I believe that we can at least give our all. My HP doesn't seem to ever want to go above 50. Oh, I'll have to be in the same type. Oh, okay. She just kind of placates you a little bit. Oh, okay. That's nice, Atreyu. Lovely. Oh, you did like the hardest tournament ever? Well, I'll give that very nonchalant replies because I don't know how difficult it is. You beat Nagoa Light tournament and absolutely did amazing. I'll give you a flippant response. Well, that's nice. She's at least, she at least tries to pretend. Okay. We live in the blizzard. Let's see what's going on our calendar. We've made it 3 days. Will is truly surviving. We've yet to shoot any sort of weapon. Here on Interloper, you do not get rifles or pistols. You have to make your own bow and become an archer. Got a few notes, a little memento, and we have a dream. We're starting here in Pleasant Valley, the Great Pleasant Valley, and we're going to try to get over to our great coastal highway. The crutch of all crutches for those who really don't know what's going on, the amazing Quonset gas station. I probably should read Tim Banks' Frontier Shooting Guide, but I'm not going to be a rifleman, so Wilderness Kitchen by M. Hunter. Right now, I'm pretty much as starving as it gets. So Will's considering even cutting up rugs and eating them and pretending it's spaghetti. We need some sort of sustenance. Let's see if we can find maybe some hidden spawn locations of a banged up tomato soup. Doesn't look like it's happening. Whoa, look at that physics. You know, I saw the cougar again, Atreyu, and it was crazy. The cougar's animations were ridiculous. It was doing that thing that cats do where they can kind of make their spine go all different directions, so the feet were to the side of it, but it was doing it at a time when it was going straight. So it was doing this really wonky animation. Both times I've seen the cougar, she's been quite ridiculous. You shot her with one to the dome and took her out in that fishing hut. And then when Wiz took her out, she was doing these crazy running patterns. So the cougar's a wild one. As long as you enjoy yourself. Got enough cloth. We're being responsible as it gets. The responsibility is just through the freaking snowy roof right now. Oh, there's a nice skylight. Let's see what kind of cloth we got here. 7 cloth. Oh my gosh. So yeah, the cougar's pretty crazy. She was a bit glitchy when Wizard was attacking her. She also went down to 1 arrow. I'm assuming the 1 arrow thing was because she got into some turf wars prior to us running into her, where she battled maybe a bear or something, took down her HP. And a true hunter should always hunt smarter. So, it's good stuff. Alright, this is our moment. We're going to drink some lovely Big Moose Kicks, as long as this blizzard's away. Three down arrows to the temperature, even around noon. And I think that's because the snow is still falling rapidly. We're going to end up with wet ski jackets and running shoes in no time. Okay. The responsibility is constantly going head to head with the keeping our vitals intact, basically. So we kind of want a little bit more of the blizzard to disappear and a nice clear day. That'd be optimal for the most amount of traveling that this Will's ever done. Let's do some more responsibility and be beyond. Repair. We cannot tear apart what must be repaired. So, thank you for the suggestion to get the cloth, by the way. That's always probably the good move. Repair your clothes, maybe read a little bit, fix everything up. Responsibility City. Oh. You guys going out to eat? Any traveling for the celebration? Fancy cool restaurants. Okay, we are above 80% in everything but our shoes. It sounds a little calmer outside. We got about 1:30, 2 p.m. on the clock. So we're going to take something out of our thermos and we're going to move. Let's see here. Thermos, transfer, big moose kicked. We went to Legoland in Dang Hag this weekend. My life has dance class tonight, so just chilling. Wow, Legoland. I've never heard of that. That sounds amazing. Are there like 6 feet high creations from local Lego geniuses? Okay, so it's a bit snowier than we'd like. It's now or never. Okay, so we kind of have a good idea of how to get to Coastal. We're going to take this bridge. We're going to avoid the bear. He seems to like to walk directly down the street. And he owns this territory. We're going to go to the sign that says mining area that takes us off the beaten path. We're going to take that all the way up to the abandoned mine. And through there, we're going to do it big. So now that the temperature is a little different, we only see one down arrow on our temperature thing, which is huge. Oh. There he is. Oh my God. Yeah, he always walks down this road. So we're going to keep a wide berth from the ornery bear. Once he stands up, it's on. When you know it's serious. Okay. Big things built by the masters. Also a bunch of interactive stuff. Nice. That's cool. Well, she might not be a TLD person, but to go to Legoland means she definitely knows what's up.
Something to eat.
All right, we'll get you something to eat, Will. So last time I was doing some of my first true scavenging. I was doing the stone torch. Intimidate the wolves away from what they downed. I again feel like it's kind of a it's not the coolest hunter move, but you kind of got to survive as well and realize that you're both a hunter and survivor at the same time. So even if you feel like a wuss stealing a wolf's kill, until you have a bow, it's all about staying alive. Alright, so I believe we have properly evaded the big bad bear. Yeah, this is so amazing. My record is 15 days on Stalker, and on Interloper it's like 3 or 4. Last time I was stumbling over to Misanthrope's Island, and that's where I passed away in my sleep due to food. Because I slept for 10 hours when we were at death's doorstep. So today is going to be different. don't know what the cougars deal with. She was gooning out when she was running around. It's probably because it's a newer animal and they're still figuring out some animations for her. But between the cougar and the rose hip empanadas you were making that kept you up all night during your run, I really think the DLC is worth it in this game. Especially since I'm nerding out on it all over the place and obsessed with it. So I'll get that DLC pretty soon and be cool. It sounds so great to be able to burst through the evening with some sort of food. Probably got to acquire some flour as well. Scarcely supplied flour. Legoland and Dang Hag. I wonder where that is. Dang Hag. The Hag in English. Coastal town in Netherlands. Oh, okay.
Seems so crazy right now.
Ooh, the coast of Netherlands. There's some cool stuff over there. There's something in the water in the Netherlands too. I think you guys are just, there's something in that area that makes fantastic gamers. Ah, yes. Fighting off the seasonal affect disorder with true gaming prowess. Alright, we got ankle issues. Let's go over here. Here we go. You ever see that little red slope pop up in your bottom right screen? That's how you know you have pressure on your ankles, and you got to kind of alleviate it by flattening out. All right, we'll go under this tree right here, and I believe we're going to be close to the entrance to the abandoned mine. The abandoned mine not only provides you with a good lump of coal, it also gives you really cool gear as well. So I have high hopes that we're going to find stale granola bars for the ravenous will. Leaving Pleasant Valley. Gotta alleviate those chocolate ankles for sure. Everyone stays indoors. Yep. Chocolate ankles. All right. 4 torches. We're going to burn a match, and everybody's going to keep that secret between us. Not tell people I burned a match. We're going to keep an eye out for those glorious lumps of coal on the ground as we traverse the abandoned mine. There it is. Boom. Okay, so if we go left here, we're going to end up on a ledge around a spiral staircase, and on that ledge is usually a really cool source of gear. Oh, a stim! Highway 99, baby! We're on the highway.
Plant fuel.
Lantern fuel. Okay. We're gonna drink some water here in a second. We're gonna continue forward. So it's inevitable that we become encumbered on this little journey here. And even though we have no calories, it's kind of important to gather up all this coal and bring it with us to the garage. It is a huge source of heat, and it's also decent lightweight for the amount of heat and fire stuff that you get from it. Fire stuff, of course, being the professional scientific term. Okay, here's a little dead end. There's usually a guy passed away on the other side of this. Okay, there's no guy. Stem City. Okay. We found a bin of coal. Alright, we have a chance at an exclusive... Oh! Steel granola bar, baby! Boom! Alright, so this one's moldy. And it has a chance of making our stomach hurt. So we gotta be oh, baby! Stale beef jerky! Just when you always think you'll never find food again, you come across a clutch bag of jerky. Survive the Outdoors by S.J. Adams. Handbook with information on wilderness survival. Okay, let's throw this bad boy down and try to get match conservation. Boom! Exclusive lockers. Game time. Oh, I hear a voice line. Oh, nope. Sometimes when Will talks, it usually means he's gonna find something. Okay, I'm gonna check around and make sure we don't leave anything cool behind. We're leaving that sewing kit. Ooh, scrap metal. Okay, I think it's time to put this torch, or hold this torch for a second. Chocolate bar is 1% of food poisoning, my bad. Edible above 20. 1%, I think we'll roll the dice on the granola bar, baby. Here we go. Alright, let's drink some lovely toilet water. And then we'll eat this amazing beef jerky. Okay. Things are looking really well for the Will man. So let's get... Whoop. Let's get his gear and see what kind of stuff he's got in that thermos. Probably some freezing cold coffee. Alright, Will. You're halfway through the mine. We got some food. Everything is coming up, Will. Will and Grace, baby. Coal. Okay, so we're up to maybe 20 or 30 coal. We're gonna have the warmest fires in history. All we have to do is make it over to the gas station. Okay, checking the essential places here prior to going further through the echoed halls of the cave. Holy moly. This is amazing. Okay, so we have a sprained wrist. We just became encumbered.
I need to drop something.
We're pretty close to the other side. So last time I just left my coal at the entrance, thinking that maybe I'd be going back and forth, but this time we're bringing it. We know how serious this stuff is. What really was a tough learning experience was realizing that even with a fire, you might still freeze outside. You have to get the temperature of the fire up, and that's where this coal will come into play. We initially thought the coal would just be for the forge when we actually made some of our arrowheads, but the coal is a versatile source. All right, we're leaving. We have arrived at our favorite town, Coastal Highway. Can't make fire in here. Okay, we've arrived at Coastal. So now it's about getting down the mountain and finding Quonset. Uh-oh. Okay. So we have an answer for this guy. We have a pump fake torch combo. That's right.
I'm gonna have to leave something behind.
Okay, our last torch. We're gonna have to try to expedite the dissension. So that might include Mr. Goat. Okay, we're at a steep angle here. Let's try to flatten out quick. There we go. Okay, there's the glorious lake. We know the highways around the perimeter of that, so we'll just keep heading towards freedom. Just like a snowboarder, you kind of go at it from side to side, you know? There it is. So anybody that's new, definitely do not feel afraid to enter the tournaments. It's a super fun challenge, and it makes a regular survival match really fun and cool. And you kind of feel like you're part of something. And it's totally okay if you're an absolute amateur. It's still the most fun thing in history. So definitely check out those tournaments. Okay, we have arrived at the coolest place. I believe this is the Log Sort. So what do you say we be responsible? And as much as it would be exciting to loot stuff, we'll keep the goblin in his cage until we get to Quonset. We'll drop some stuff off there, and then we'll look at the local stuff for food immediately. And maybe a downed deer that we can scavenge off of. Out here on the water. The frozen water of Dang Hang. What sports do you do? You like IRL sports? Participate in? Myself? Okay, we're out of torch. Like in the real world. Well, I guess like back in the day it would be more football and stuff and like MMA, like UFC type stuff like that, but definitely nothing serious. I know it's hard to believe with this athletic frame that I wouldn't be a complete all-state quarterback, but, you know, I just wanted to make room for all the other quarterbacks and just allow them to shine. But I love football when I was a kid, and then as I got older, I really got into UFC MMA. Big fan of martial arts. I love stuff like Ip Man, where there's like a dignified Bruce Lee tutor who obviously fills in that like psychological father role that I'm always seeking in all the stuff I like, with Master Splinter from the Turtles or Mr. Miyagi from Karate Kid. I kind of like that substitute dad figure thing about all that stuff, I think, subconsciously. Oh, Wizard's a fight fan. Nice! Wizard just keeps on shining, man. Yeah, we'll talk big game with Wiz. I usually don't miss any of the cards. I've been a fan since, like, the dark ages of it. You should see some of those early ones. They fight in, like, redneck Alabama in the mid-90s. And the most unhinged crowds you've ever seen. Like, the sport was very renegade at the time. So it was just like a derelict, just, like, powder keg. Shirtless rednecks in like a Alabama stadium with 3,000 people with like no AC in it. Just nuts. What about yourself? Do you guys play soccer or rugby over in the dang hang? Oh, Blaze, my man, what's going on? How are you, Blaze? He is a trailblazer, much like Portland. He is Blaze. How's it going, Blaze? We've made it to Coastal. Our vitals actually don't have a red. Things are going really well for us. And usually when I say that is when I fall into the ice or I slip on a banana peel. So I'm going to keep the jinxes at bay. Okay, we have arrived at the beautiful Quonset garage. And there's a hacksaw spawn location behind tires inside the garage itself. So if we go in there, go to blue outline mode, and then move the tires, we have a huge chance of finding a hacksaw in there. The final of the forging items required. I'm going inside, Wolf.
Too heavy.
Okay, big news. Check this out, Blaze. Exclusive lockers. I play tennis and watch Formula One. Okay, sweet. Formula One is one of those things where I've heard nothing but everybody love it, and I've always wanted to check it out. Okay, let's put our sweet books in there, along with simple tools. And we're going to go check for that hacksaw because I'm so stoked after dropping off this coal. 43 coal. So we're going to have hot fires today too, Blaze. That's a big thing that we remembered from when we froze over in that town between here and Desolation. Trying to think of what that town's name is. Crumbling Highway. We were over there and I was trying to make a fire when I was on Death's doorstep, but it wasn't hot enough. So now we have that coal from the abandoned mine. All right, let's see what time it is. Okay, we're about at evening, so we'll have a nice sleep here at Quonset once we move our stuff to the front. I'm so excited about this. I have hope and big time optimism. Okay. Our room has been established. Let's see what our encumberation looks like. Absolutely the right word. 17 kilograms of 30. Okay, so we're sloshing around, but it's likely just the water I'm hearing. So let's say we start a nice fat fire. Get things going. Maybe bust out a torch and then loot this place. Responsible fire on deck. And we're burning one of our 3 matches. Oh my gosh. All right, matches are a priority as we loot. Okay, here we go. Come on, Will. This is your moment. You only have... should I use lamp oil? Because the matches are such a premium right now. What I love about F1 is that it's still very real, even though it's such a rich sport. It's still real cars. Yeah, so maybe there's a little bit less business. It comes down to kind of a meritocracy where the actual best drivers with the cool cars still win. That's kind of what I think about that. You're driving to work, Blaze? Okay, cool. Well, just be careful. No F1 stuff out there. Like Raw, I mean. Things bend and break and cars bump. Oh, the thrill. Yeah, I think that there's still that what could happen thing. American football's kind of been slightly neutered with it's a good thing. It's for the player's safety, but there's definitely a lot less of that what could happen stuff in that one. So it's become a little bit more of a different sport about touchdowns rather than just complete monsters out there giving each other CTE. So I'm thinking about burning this lamp oil to make sure I hit it, but I got a 4 out of 5 chance of actually starting this fire. I think a pro might use the lamp oil. Question is, how much does it use when it actually does it? If it was like 0.2 liters, no problem. But who knows? So I'm going to wait here and pretend like I'm contemplating, hoping that some sort of TLD saviors will give me good advice. 0.3, it says there. Yeah. So it's going to use 0.3 of my 0.42 lamp oil. It's a pretty big move. Okay. Will, we're going to Vegas, buddy. We have yet to read the S.J. Adams fire starting manual, but we're going to get on it soon, buddy. For now, let's see what you got. Oh, God. Will. Son of a gun. You know what? Let's see if we can craft a torch. Okay. This is what we do. Then we put the lamp oil on there. It's going to be a full torch. We'll use the torch to start the fire. No waste of matches. No more shenanigans. Matches are more valuable. Yeah. I think so. All right. Okay, bang. And then start the fire. I do feel like over time you pick up these little things that kind of help you conserve stuff. Oh my gosh.
That didn't work.
And it builds upon itself. So I'm becoming emboldened by each trick. Like lighting the torch prior to wasting a bunch of matches on starting a fire. Since you can just retry with the lit torch.
Come on.
That's a great trick. Okay.
All right.
Okay, we got 1 hour and 28 minutes on this bad boy. Let's do some serious goblin action in this place. Dog food. Yeah, this is amazing. I'm so happy just to see my vitals doing what they're doing. All right, Hacksaw Jones. Oh. Let's check over here. Nope. All right, we didn't get a hacksaw this time, but we got plenty of spawn locations we're going to check all over town here. We're going to have it in no time. And then we'll be able to mess with the corpses that the wolves have. Because it doesn't look like we're getting anything in here. Okay. Oh, baby! Hacksaw Jones! Boom! It has happened.
Thank goodness.
The Quonset Garage has provided us with the final forging tools. So now we can go over to the bridge on the other side of Coastal, which is actually tougher than it is because it's far away and it's cold. But we're going to go over there, cut down maple and birch saplings, maybe do a little bit of beachcombing, and enjoy the rising tide.
Eat.
All right, sorry, Will. I'm over here monologuing. Yeah, let's go to the front and eat some of this delicious food. New tomato soup. All right. Okay, then we'll grab this recycled can and maybe put some Big Moose kicks on the Barbie. Lovely. Man, this is exciting. We got all the foraging things. We're going to make this garage full of birch saplings and everything. This is such promise and hope. It's probably a little bit false, but we're going to live in that delusion.
Think I can use
Painkillers. Okay, things are looking up. All the newspapers read, Will the Ninth has great promise. The Great Bear Gazette. Headline, Will the Ninth forges. Sometimes I think there's something back here. Not today, Junior. So one of these days we'll actually use one of those wheat stones on our hacksaw. We can actually go see what kind of condition it's in. Let's see what we got. Hacksaw. 83%. That's pretty good. Okay, so our food is ready, so we're gonna get jiggy with it. Boom. All right. So these guys will stay hot forever now that we double right clicked it. And it has been properly jiggled. Okay, let's say we see if we can find a little bit more sustenance here to go with our new tomato soup. Banged up dog food. Man, I can't even imagine if you heat up the banged up dog food what that tastes like. So I believe we said that 20% was the cutoff for moldy food. So I'll be okay if I eat this chocolate bar, I think. Let's see if we find anything else. Man, I can't believe how much optimism I have right now. We know what to do. We're going to create really warm fires. We're going to forge some serious saplings. That bow has been right in our grasp. Will after will. And I've actually never forged before. I'm excited about that. See what that's all about. What we got here. This is Tim Banks' Frontier Shooting Guide. A must-read for any prospective hunters. A note left behind. 2 more joined us today. Seems their horse couldn't go any further. One of them's called Sean. Alright, Sean has joined us. Okay. We've checked out most of the stuff back here. Let's go eat our new tomato soup that's been hot forever. Thanks to the lovely jiggling trick. I'm surprised that the jiggle trick hasn't been patched over time, where they made it so that couldn't be possible. Okay, banged up tomato soup down, and here we go. All right. So I'm going to eat this chocolate bar and hope it doesn't make me sick, because I think we mentioned that it was 20%. Okay, nice. We made it. Banged up dog food. I think if we get ourselves a nice can opener, we might be able to retain the 18% that we lost right there. A valuable 18 in the wilderness. Ketchup chips. Okay. Let's see what time it is. So this would be a good time to potentially drink our rosehip tea if it has the same... Not sure how something next to a fire burns. Yeah, that's a pretty good point. Maybe it shouldn't even be patched. It should just be the way it is. That's a good point. So I'm thinking, will the rosehip tea have the same effect that maybe the Sweet Dreams tea would have if you take it before you go to sleep? In the way of HP buffs. Because I do have a delicious cup of rosehip tea that I could warm up here? No. Okay. Thank you very much. Sweet dreams is the only way to get that buff. So we're going to have to look for the glorious green and blue box as we rummage through our neighbor's stuff. It's just a painkiller. Okay. It probably gives you warm belly too, right? If it's warm. That would make sense. Alright. We're going to take some torches. Excellent. Up. We're going to have to add this and then take one real quick. Nope. Add a stick. There it is. Boom. Okay. I'm just taking this. We're out of here. Let's go see if we can rummage our neighbor's stuff real quick. We have a little bit of sleep in us. Since we got nice sleep, even though it's pretty late, we still have enough energy to maybe move around a little bit. Let's see how long our temperature thing is. We got about 15 minutes on the warming up. So let's stay inside during the blizzard. Okay, this may have been a ridiculous idea. I think it was. I barely see what the heck's going on. Here he is. Okay, we found our neighbor's house. Boom. Okay. Let's do some rummaging. Oh no, I just burned a match. Uh-oh. 12 matches. Okay. So I must have had a different type of match and it wasn't pulled up because of that. And it was my other matchbook since it were different types of matches. So we have 12. Man, this is amazing. Okay. Light source. Alright, well-lit rummaging underway. Oh, baby, wood matches! Yes!
I could use this.
12 matches to start fires with. There it is. Surviving and thriving one match at a time. The glorious blue box. There's nothing like seeing it. Decent, simple parka. Oh, baby. We got another jacket as well. 11 Celsius on our warmth bonus. Oh my gosh. We find sweet dreams. These guys are looking out for us. Yes, the horse runs. Man, that running horse is one of the coolest emotes I've seen so far. I love that one. He just seems like he's so powerful and he's going places with intention.
Never would have thought to look here.
Disinfectant. Oh, yes! New tomato soup. So here on Interloper, equipment is far and few between. In kind of a good way if you're looking for a nice challenge. I actually think it's pretty cool that you rummage and mostly don't find stuff. Okay, we're gonna get this guy's bedroom now. Either super majestic
End up being useful.
or high AF. Okay, we got a second pair of underpants. This is the greatest news ever. Alright, let's grab some of this delicious toilet water. And we have acquired what we need from our neighbor. This was a home run. We got soup, matches, jackets, underpants. A glorious haul. Okay, now this is tough. We just gotta run diagonal and we're at our house. Beautiful. Okay. Good night. It's intense out there. All right, so what say we get a little bit of sleep till morning? I probably should eat my new tomato soup. Just to make sure I have enough calories. It's either do it now or do it in the morning, starting a fire and warming up some Big Moose kicks. Alright. That'll be what we do. We're gonna sleep and hope that we have enough sustenance to last us. Big chunk of 10 hours. And then, in the morning, we'll eat our new tomato soup, nice and warm, with a big cup of coffee to wash it down. On another successful day, hopefully. I am Mr. Cope right now. Copenhagen over here. Alright, here we go. Uh-oh, we are in the midst of an aurora. Alright, so at least one good thing about the aurora is this bad boy. So let's blue outline this thing. And put it right here. And let's listen to some Rachmaninoff. Oh. So when you're lampooned on Great Bear, even one evening's worth of classical music is a pleasant respite from what is usually harsh and isolating surroundings. Okay, enough freaking talking about stuff, buddy. Make a fire. Let's do this. Who the F is DJing during the apocalypse? I imagine some sort of like 12-hour tape in a radio tower that somehow knows how to rewind itself, like old technology, analog stuff. That's what I think. But that's a pretty good point too, because even the tape would probably break down even after like a week. And where's the power coming from? It's got to be from a place where it's working, unless it has a generator that lasts years. A lot of good questions.
That did it.
All right, let's grab a little lump of coal here. And then throw it on the bobber. Boom. Wow, yeah, the temperature shot up. That's why I use it for forging. The fires with the coals going through the roof. Some of my stick fires get like 3 Celsius. This thing is shooting to the moon. Holy moly. 21 degrees Celsius right now, this fire. Chestnuts aptly roasted. Okay. That was awesome. I don't think I've ever paid attention to that before. Stick equals 1 C per stick. DJ Trado, bring it on. Heat up. It'll probably be jiggle with it. Go. Okay. Yeah, 1 stick. DJ Trader. Alright. So we got soup. We got coffee. Let's see how much stuff we're carrying around. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's always bring at least 1 or 2 lumps of coal on us. Since that was amazing to see. Okay. Leave a stem. Our gear's looking pretty solid. I think the only thing we need is to tear apart some shoes for some leather. Okay. We got an hour left on this fire. So once this stuff goes to 12 minutes, then we'll take the remaining torches with us for this journey. It's about to be morning in about an hour, so I'm hoping through this time there'll be enough stuff. Because if we go out during an aurora, what you see is all the wildlife that kicks your butt regularly goes double time. They have glowing eyes, and the bear looks like he's been hitting the gym when he comes after you. He has these enormous shoulders, and his workout routine has been pushing him to the limit. So you do not want to run into the local bear from Misanthrope's Island during an aurora. That's for sure. Coal is 20 per coal. Yeah, a coal is amazing for heat. There's no question. Okay, we're eating our nice hot tomato soup. Washing it down with lovely big moose kicks. Okay. This is a solid little set of vitals we got down there at the bottom. We're about 50%, 55% HP. We're taking a boatload of torches with our 2 blue buffs on the road. And it looks like the aurora just subsided, so if we go out there, we won't see haunted bears and stuff. Uh-oh. There it is. Okay. This is our moment. This is it. Alright, here we go. Kind of still looks like an aurora. Especially with that crazy flanger music going on. Okay, we're headed to sapling territory. Hey, Kaiser, what's going on, man? The K-Man has arrived. What's shaking, baby? Uh-oh. I think I just heard a haunted wolf. Kaiser's got a awesome stalker run going right now. Dude, those guys sound horrifying in an aurora. Yeah, your stalker run is really good, Kaiser. I'm not going to talk about it too much, only for the sake of making sure I don't be the announcer who says this guy is 100% from free throws this year, and then the guy misses it. I don't want to be the jinx, but we're doing really good. We're going to get to 50 on Long Dark Fridays over on K-Man's channel. Look at the green sky. DJ Trader is wrapping up his last few tracks. Oh. Doing well, just taking care of work. Gonna be taking the car soon to put on winter tires on a snowy road. Yeah, you guys probably have it pretty intense. Not looking forward to that. We noticed advanced 5-day stream. It's going well so far. I noticed we usually advance 5 days a stream. Okay, so you get through about 5 in-game days per stream. Cool. Probably got about 4 or 5 left. Oh, I gotta switch out these. Nice, save the match. Okay, so the saplings are on the other side here of Jackrabbit. And that's where the beachcombing goes down as well. So what we probably need to do is take up in those 3 little cabins or light a big coal fire outside to keep our heat, since we're about 50% heat and it's going to wear off shortly, our buffs to the temperature. We are on an early day 4 here. We started in Pleasant, got the forging items, and came over here to Coastal. And we got the final forging item there in Quonset. I pretty much have found the hacksaw there every time, so I'm pretty sure there's at least a 75% chance of acquiring that at the gas station if you look hard enough. So now we got all the stuff we need to get our bow going. And just like you have to shoot 50 rifle shots, we have to get off 50 bow shots. The crazy thing is that I've never actually made it to get to the point where I'm at the bow. I just keep talking about it. And yeah, we're doing the Furry then Silence tournament on the Interloper division. Okay, auto walk, baby. It's the most fun. Kaiser, you're actually the inspiration for me. I saw you on there and you were like, yeah, everybody should try it. And I said, you know what? Let's try it. Even though I know I just want to kind of qualify and just get a score on the board. That's kind of the modest beginning that we're looking for. As we live in Copenhagen forever. But seriously, just 50 days is a mission to me. These temperatures are harsh, man. It's tough out here. Alright, let's see what this fishing hut has to provide. Sometimes there's like a ghost pirate ship that shows up on the shore as well. Full of hopes and dreams of pirate past. Alright, so our temperature is almost completely freezing right now. Fire is a must. Affliction, hypothermia risk.
Too cold to think.
Okay, here we go. They told me to give it a try. Yeah. For the inspiration was Blaze and Thor. Well, that's awesome, man. Everybody's inspiring everybody else to get going, and we're all doing it. We all look up to Wiz and Atreyu and Thor and all the true vets of the game.
Come on.
And they're extremely selfless, was helping out amateurs like myself with stuff that's chapter 1 for them.
Well, thank goodness for that.
Okay, 1 hour and 57 minutes. And the coal is going to rise the temperature. There it goes, baby. Okay, so we got a nice up arrow. I don't know if I should put this furniture in front of the door or if it'll do anything, but I don't appear to be able to go into blue outline mode in the fishing hut. It's not truly considered inside.
This stuff will come in handy.
Worn wool toque. Okay, so we actually have ourselves a nice toque right here, and it's 99%. I believe that our spare cloth is okay. We got 5 spare cloths, so we'll leave that toque here and try to optimize our empty backpack. Word was that if you're always carrying around an encumbered backpack, you're probably not doing it right. So we're trying to carry light on our journeys. I should probably do some Big Moose Kicks action if I can. Ooh, rose hip tea will give us warmth though. You don't need the scarf. 2 toques are better than 1. He's outside with a fake wall behind him. It is a little cold, but not cold enough that would necessitate this absurd outfit, that's for sure. Definitely pageantry. You don't need the scarf. Oh, thank you. I know what you mean. Okay. It's time for the double toque. Just when you thought there was only going to be 1 toque, 2 of them came. Okay, excellent. Okay, look at that. Up arrow, buff city. Probably should have drank that once my temperature was fully risen, so I optimized the amount of time I have a warm belly. Let's take some torches. Toque, toque. That's right. Double toque, son. We're doing it. Okay, so we got an amazing warm fire here that we're able to harvest a ton of torches for. So all these lovely torches will be keeping us slightly warmer as we go on the run. Now we reset our temperature up to the top, so we have time to go beachcombing and look for those saplings, which are kind of beyond the little bridge on the far end of coastal over here. So we're looking for maple saplings, which are kind of short trees with greenish, strong-looking, stumpy, tree-ish things, and then birch saplings, which are about the same height. That was pretty good stuff. Okay. Final torch. Our temperature is up to the top. We are now prioritizing fires as much as we should on these stringent difficulties where the sliders are set to temperature harshness very high, pretty much. Okay, let's see what the beach provides. Last time we were on the beach, we found a plethora of exciting items. There was rabbit pelts and even washed ashore lockers. Exclusive ones. Alright, here we go. Let's see what the beach has. We're combing. And it becomes thin right around the beach too, so you got to be careful while you're hanging out in here. I wonder if we should harvest that deer over there. Oh my gosh. The deer's all by itself. We could easily get what we need. Okay. This is usually when it goes off the rails, when I start getting indecisive and try two plans at once. Those are Sadie Hawkins shoes. Right? Yeah. Okay, it's not even a corpse. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not an animal. It's a guy with a backwards hat on. This guy, he wasn't long for this world out here. Backwards hat and a ragged t-shirt. Old man's beard. Okay. So we'll see what the other side of the beach has to provide. Sometimes you'll even see a washed ashore salmon or a fresh fish. Rancid smallmouth bass. All right, we're a little smelly now. In the top center, the lines are indicating how smelly you are to the local predators. And we have one of three. If you have three, you might as well just consider yourself as far on their radar as possible. Yeah, I see something in the distance. Pretty soon here, we're going to take a right and go get some of those saplings and make our way back to Quonset. Cattail. Decent wool toot. Toot toot. Ketchup chips. Probably a little soggy. That's some reclaimed wood. Okay, expired warming up. So we're going to have to get back to those fishing huts ASAP. Whoa! Okay. Whoa. Okay, we're not going to that chest. We're going to do a little harvesting of saplings if we see them, but we're out of here. Let's see if I have one more coal on me. Excellent. So we'll have a nice toasty fire if we need to bust one out over here. since it's morning, we can have a little bit of time to do some sapling acquiring. Okay. Oh, there it is. This is the type of tree I was trying to describe earlier. It's a little stumpy. It looks like it's kind of a younger tree. And it's like the greatest thing you could see. Harvesting birch sapling. So those sapling birches become arrows that you can use with your glorious bow. I think I just burned a match right next to a torch. But nobody saw that. Not even the strong running horse saw that one. Maybe I missed the answer. I was gone for a sec. I'm in the car on the bridge. Here is a note. Across the street from Quonset is an upside-down boat. If you have the note, the boat contains coffee. Oh. That's pretty cool. Wow, this game is amazing. They even have like little mini puzzles to spawn loot. Okay. Let's see if we can find maple. Maple will be what we can actually make the bow part out of. And we're going to have to light another fire and put some coal in it immediately. Okay, so maple sapling.
Where can I find something to eat?
Okay, well, I know, buddy. Oh! You can take 1.4 kilograms from it and 2 guts. This is a good fire location. Let's see if we can avoid the wind from one of these directions. Probably not. Okay. Here we go. Responsible hot fire where we can get this corpse going. I was asking which country you're from. Oh, I'm from the States. Yep. Red, white, and blue. I'm over here in the States. Fire between the deer and the tree.
Serious?
Yeah. The tree offers some wind protection in certain scenarios. Nice.
Come on.
Kaiser's in Poland, I think, actually, right now. So I'm sure it's pretty cold over there. Getting below freezing at night.
It worked.
Okay, throw that coal in there. Get that 20 Celsius. And then we're going to do some ravaging. We're going to get food. Put it on the grill. Perva. So it's like 8 or 9 a.m. there. Yes. Yes, it's pretty early over here. It's about 11 o'clock. Oh, we have a smallmouth bass. It's rancid. So this is when I start to feel a little vulnerable when I make these outdoor campfires and stuff. But I do see all the pros. Cool as a cucumber with their outdoor fires. They make real nice organized stuff with their teas and everything. So we're just going to maintain calm, even though I feel like I'm attracting every wolf in town. And our temperature is rising. So this is 15 minutes. How long we got? 24 and 49. Healed hypothermia risk. Okay. That's the Hungarian spelling. If you're nervous, drop the stink on the floor next to the fire. Got you. That's a great idea. Oh. Okay. So that was a total pro move. We picked up the food before it was done cooking, so that it resets the timer. As always, pro stuff. All right. This one's going to be 43 minutes, so we're going to add a little bit more Celsius to that bad boy with time. All right, let's eat gamey smallmouth bass. Okay, so probably one of the first Wills ever who's actually been able to get some sort of maintain vitals. Usually I die every time I leave the place because I wasn't prioritizing food and, more importantly, temperature. So now we actually are making these coal fires. The coal has changed everything because now when you're out and about, you can start these warm fires everywhere you go and not enter the longest of dark and fade into the long dark. Okay, so let's see what time we got here. We got 12 minutes to this bad boy and 30 over here. Then I can get some of those guts out. Actually, always do that. You never know. Okay, yeah. Eat it. Okay, so we're eating some lovely venison. "20 minutes until that's ready. So I believe it won't burn in those 10 minutes. Let's grab this last gut. It's about 11:30, 12 p.m. Eat it. Okay, I want to keep the fire going long enough to grab a lit torch. Boom. And so now we can use this torch to light the rest of them and save that match. We smell very delicious to the local wildlife because we have 1 scent on us from our cured gut action. We have the arrows and the guts we need. We just need to see if we can find a little maple along the way home. What a glorious event it would be to grab everything we actually need in one swoop. But we're not going to talk about it. We're going to be about it. Maple time. All right. So where does everybody think the maple sapling would be if it were here in Coastal Highway? I'm thinking it's pretty close to where we are. Oh, there's one on a little island over here, isn't there? I think there's one over there. There's some sort of sapling. It might be maple or birch. But I do think on those 2 trees over there, you might find something there. So let's check there. Okay, eyes out for stumpy, strong trees. Searching for the maple. And any extra birch saplings that we find basically... oh, Lord. The bear. And he's headed this way. That's the last thing we need. Listen, buddy. I don't believe that you fall for the torch pump fake trick. So I don't want any of those problems. Yeah, he's going to come after us. He's going to laugh at us if we try that trick on him. Okay, maple saplings. Potentially at that little island over there. Okay, we're hoping to avoid the bear at all costs. I hear him huffing and puffing over there. Uh-oh. The wind has picked up. Okay, that's it. We're going to a cabin. We're not going to get greedy and try to get the last sapling. Okay, into one of these little fishing camp cabins. See if we get an up arrow. Woo! Nice. Okay, we got an up arrow. So now we can hang out in here until the blizzard subsides. It feels so good to be more responsible. It really does. I feel like there's a slight better grasp on the vitals this time. And I can't believe how much the coal changes the game. Coal is one of the key items. Ketchup chips, crunchy and tangy. Oh, hidden candy bar, baby! The secret stash of the chubby kid who went to camp and didn't want to get caught. Nuts and stuff. Ketchup chips. New chocolate bar. Gosh. Yeah, chug it down, buddy. Tastes delicious. Alright, excellent. This is probably curtain time, isn't it? What's the plan right now? So what I'm thinking is we're going to drop off these guts and the birch saplings back at the Quonset gas station. And then we'll wait till the blizzard subsides, grab some more coal, and just keep going out for our harvestings of the saplings. Once we have all that curing in the garage, then we can make a confident plan to take some coal with us through our crumbling neighbor town, Crumbling Highway, and then over to Desolation Point for the first time. Yes, farming is what I actually asked about yesterday. I think the same thing, Kaiser. I wanted to be able to plant potatoes and carrots and then just have a nice farm. But apparently, that's probably going to be something in the sequel. As well as co-op. So we're going to take into the town together and we're going to hunt all the Cougas. I wonder if they're going to have even more serious predators. A super Aurora. All the frozen corpses dethaw and come around. Alright. Enough games. Let's do some curtain cutting. Oh, I should probably take these off. We got some wet clothes that need to dry. And look at those sweet legs. Alright. Curtain repairs maybe for his clothes. He's got his nice toque. Socks are looking solid. Alright, we're going to repair some underpants. Repair. Yeah, so we get a solid plan, and it's all because of coal that we're actually able to do it, because the temperature was plummeting the second we left. We were getting 3 down arrows, and it wasn't happening. But now I feel that we can put up those little fires anywhere we go. And it changes the game completely. The next move might be trying to get some sort of bedroll, just in case we end up fatigued on the run. So I believe either harvesting stuff or going to sleep gives you an RNG chance of changing the weather outside. I believe it's sleep. So I think if I go to sleep for like an hour or play solitaire or something, I might have a chance to despawn the blizzard. But this is another one of those instances where I'm talking completely out of my rear, because I don't know that at all. So there's a chance that happens, but I'm not sure. All right, let's tear apart a curtain. Loading screens are Rav's worst nightmare. It's permanent winter, though. Okay. So let's see. We got about 2 p.m. Hoping the blizzard's out of here by the time maybe I take a study break or a cat nap. Because this is for my rifle firearm skill, so I don't think I'm going to get much out of Tim Banks's Frontier Shooting Guide. Oh, nice. Okay, so let's do that. Nice hour sleep, and we're going to wake up and hear no witches howling winds outside. I'm so optimistic right now. The glass is unbelievably half full. 3 days, 15 hours. But the blizzard remains. All right, let's try another hour. Here we go. Yep, the witch keeps on howling. All right, we got about 1 hour left of daylight. Let's hope the howling subsides and we can leave this place. We've torn apart all the curtains, so the sunlight will be cascading into this cabin forever. We're in pretty good shape. Oh, my clothes. Uh-oh. I don't remember if that was another place. Where did I put my clothes? Oh, God. I think I made the classic mistake. I can't even remember where I took my clothes off. Are they under the bed? They're not. Holy crap, was that at a different cabin? Just came back. What about permanent winter? Okay, so I may or may not have left my clothes in a different cabin. I can't really recall where I took them off to dry, but I'm pretty sure that that's what I did. Where was I sitting inside before that I took my clothes off, though? I feel like this was the only cabin I went inside. Okay, so we may have encountered a bit of an issue. I think it's... Oh! Maybe I'm just holding on to him and I didn't drop him. Nice! I think that's the case. Okay. So we're all just going to pretend none of that little part just happened. And I think I need one of those Men in Black guns to give the audience every time I pull some bonehead move. Okay, I got my clothes on. We're nice and warm. So we're going to wait out this storm and we're going to get home safely. Okay. Crisis averted. Below about 2C, I think potatoes will not grow. Oh, we got potato knowledge being tossed about. Yes, I would love to be able to farm. I think that'd be fantastic. It might end up being a little OP, so they'd have to probably figure out ways with freezing temperatures and stuff, where you have to maybe keep it inside in a warm place or something. Yeah, farming would be a great mechanic for the sequel. Okay. So what say we do something that'll despawn the blizzard? Nope. She continues to howl as she haunts Coastal Highway. Alright, so our food has never looked better. We have about 65% on it, so if we do have to spend the night over here in the fishing place, it's not the end of the world. Then we can get up bright and early in the morning, cold cup of moose kicks, and find that maple sapling before going back to Coastal. My first garlic ever on Friday. Nice. IRL garlic growing. Excellent. You can make a nice batch of homemade Italian gravy with a couple dashes of garlic in there. Yeah, that sounds sick. If I start growing anything, it's probably going to be something easy like peppers to just get my feet wet. Then I'll move into the garlic zone. But there's got to be an amazing freshness to something that didn't have to travel. Paprika, garlic, chilies, tomato, mandarin, apples, and pineapple. Holy crap. You can grow pineapple in the cold air. That's crazy. I thought pineapple would have to be somewhere tropical. We got a serious professional in our hands. Mandarin, too. Wow, that's fantastic. Pineapple is the weirdest plant ever. It must be pretty diverse. Okay, so Kaiser, it seems pretty obvious that we have to start growing stuff too if we want to be cool. Because this man is growing an entire grocery store. He is the king of all farmers. Some chilies. Yeah, I've been making a lot of soup these days. I know this is an enthralling conversation. I've been making a lot of soups and implementing my TLD stuff into real life. I brought a thermos of Joe to a family outing the other day. You know, I'm trying to stay well fed and warm belly buffs, blue buffs. We have mint growing outside. Nice. I'm not much interested in farming. What do you use the mint for, K-Man? Fancy beverages? All right. This blizzard's lasting forever. I think our vitals are good enough for us to get a big chunk of sleep. I have been taking naps, so I don't know if we're going to sleep through the whole night. Let's see, what about, let's tear apart maybe our scarf and do a couple more responsible things. Mojitos! My grandparents used to have a garden house. Okay, so we have a 70% toque that we could potentially help out. Most of the stuff is solid. Only missing leather. Alright, let's play an hour of solitaire. I have some pear seeds in the fridge now. Germinating. Preparing for germination. Alright, let's say we do a 10 hours even though we won't get it. Then we'll figure out where we're at. Okay, finally the blizzard is out of here. It's about maybe 1 or 2 in the morning. So it's going to be dark for a while. And darkness means scary wildlife that I'm intimidated by. Also those winds. Alright, so I guess we'll just be overly responsible and we'll repair some more of our clothes. Repair this. Can't repair while in the dark. Ain't that a bee? Alright, let's see if there's anything leather in here. Probably not. Okay. Will the chair give us leather? Oh, requires hatchet? What? Oh, hatchet, not hacksaw. Okay, I got you. Okay, that makes sense. Alright. Yeah. So right now we're kind of trying to decide what to do. It's going to be dark if we go out there, which probably is okay. And we can go see if we can do some harvesting in the nighttime. Temperature, of course, is colder in the evenings. And we're out of coal. So I think what the smart person would do is light... They would light a torch and then go back to the gas station to get more coal. Can break the crates and little bench for some wood. Yeah. Ooh, using the heavy hammer. You get 4 minutes back. It's pretty sweet. What do you mean you can't do it? Requires light to break down with tool. Oh. Okay. Then we'll do it by hand, because everybody knows if you're breaking down a crate in the dark, don't even think about using a heavy hammer. I guess it makes sense, though. You would bash your hands probably trying to do it. Risk Management Will has arrived. He refuses to dark hammer those crates. Nice Airbnb, man. Thank you. Yep, we're here. We have arrived. It's cozy. It's just a 1-bedroom, but it's not bad. It had everything we needed to keep us warm during the fury. So how you doing there, Bull? What's happening? All right. So we've done some harvesting. Let's try this bench. Got some nice wood. Oh, what's he going to say about this? Probably can't do it. Yeah. Okay. So we're out of here. We're fed up with these windy games. And we're headed home. Hanging out, checking out some TLD. Nice. Well, what you've arrived at here is expert gameplay, where all the correct moves are made, and we absolutely never make mistakes like burning unnecessary matches or freezing to death and fading into the long dark. What you see here is 100% accuracy on nothing. What's going on with you, Bull? We're in the furry tournament in the interloper division. So we're trying to make a bow and actually take 50 shots while surviving 50 days. While all that seems on the surface like it might not be tough, it's actually cost 8 Wills their lives prior to Will the Ninth here, who's trying to rise to the occasion. I appreciate the kind words. We're forging forward. So we got the hacksaw and the heavy hammer to go with the pry bar so we can actually get the 2 saplings we need. We got the guts and the birch sapling in our pocket. We're going to go back to the gas station till morning. And we're going to grab some warm coal so that we can venture out to get our last sapling, the maple sapling. Which I think is on an island, kind of where we are. But I'm going home to make sure I get warm. I feel like maybe I should have got that. I'm indecisive as it gets. Alright, it's too dark. We're going to be responsible. You're the man, Atreyu. Okay, responsible garage return is the name of the game here. Since it's a little tough to see out here, I'll stay on my road so we can recognize exactly where we are, get back to the station, grabbing that coal. Another thing I learned recently, Bull, was that when you light fires with coal, it gives you 20 degrees Celsius heat boost. So even if you're out in the wild outdoors, you can make fires that will sustain your temperature vital when stuff is real harsh. So that's pretty much been the biggest game changer since I started playing, I feel like. Is keeping that temperature vital under control a little bit. Missing some fingers. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but he likes to just have his thumb out there. He's got his hand tightly wrapped around the torch. And he's also wearing mittens. All right, we're going to throw this torch down and then use it to light the next one. Beautiful. So just carrying the torch, we go from 3 down arrows to 2. So it does give us a little heat boost while we're on the run.
We need to find some place to escape this cold.
Okay, well, we're headed back. Let's auto walk. Lanterns give a little heat too. Nice. Okay, I didn't know that. I don't think we've actually been able to find a nice storm lantern yet. So I played on Stalker for a little bit, and I got a ton of loot. Almost too much, I felt like. I felt like I was maybe being babied by the loot pool. Then when I went up to Interloper, I fell off a cliff. Every cabinet I search is empty, and I can barely find matches, let alone food or anything else. So it really takes a little bit more gumption to get through the Interloper division.
Damn. I'm freezing.
Okay, so our temperature is in a bad way, and we're going to lose HP rapidly if we don't get back to the gas station and get inside immediately. Go. So I just started Bull, and I have whatever the thing is that TLD players get. I have the fever. I have the I want to play it 24/7 type of excitement about it. It's amazing. Oh no. I think that's the bear. What is he doing out right now? Oh no. This is the worst news. We got Midnight Bear. He's out on a bender. We got wolves too. Okay, this is Nightmare on Coastal Highway Road. Okay, so we had to go a little bit off the beaten path, and now we have wolves everywhere. So we gotta pump fake at these guys with the lit torch. Okay. So this is intense. We have a bear we are also trying to keep an eye on while we're keeping these wolves at bay. And we're trying to get back to this Quonset unscathed. Man, that was intense. Okay, we're almost home. Woo, it's a great game, man. A wonderful community. Yes, the community is the greatest community in history. I absolutely love these guys so much. This is one of the coolest group of people I've ever met my entire life, let alone a video game community. Like, these guys are the coolest people. They take the time to deal with people who have absolutely no clue, just out of the selflessness of their beating hearts. Okay, let's do some offloading maybe. Oh yeah, we'll go throw our stuff down to Cure. Okay. So we got a little bit of room for activities, and that activity is curing these awesome things. Okay, here we go. Drop those bad boys. We'll go here. And we'll drop the birch sapling. Okay, cool. So these guys will now increase in their cured ability. And if I get that maple sapling, that'll be the final thing. So tomorrow is a big day. Let's see what we're carrying here. Probably a little bit too much stuff. Yeah, I love these guys, man. Old man's beard. So we have 2 copies of Tim Banks's Frontier Shooting Guide. What a treat. Okay, we're down to 17 kilograms in our backpack. That is a nice, responsible amount. I'm going to take 3 coal on me since they're so valuable. So let's see if we can rest until morning. Woke up fully rested. All right. All right, so morning is around the corner. It's probably about 4 a.m., maybe 5 something, and the sun will be rising in no time. The sun will bring a little bit of warmth, and I have hopes and dreams for us. We're out of Big Moose Kicks, so we're not going to be able to make something warm for our belly prior to departure, but we can start multiple fires along the way, and at least keep that part going. Hopefully we'll also find some sort of downed deer or wolf that we can steal some food off of. Create a fire over there. I'm so stoked that we got past the bear and wolf attack. That was intense. I couldn't even see him. I just heard the bear. Okay, cool. So what would be the responsible move right now? Let's see. Prepare rose hips, maybe? Prepare tinder plugs. Okay, what kind of wood do we have? Couple reclaimed. Okay. I'm going to make a few more tindas for fire starting. What was the nightmare on Coastal Highway? Oh, yeah, that was the nightmare. I couldn't see him, and then the wolf came from the other side multiple times. And the vision was the toughest part about it. Just trying to assume with our audible senses as to where these guys were. It was quite serious. Okay, 17 kilograms in the backpack. Extra responsible weight right there. Okay. So I'm hoping morning's going to kick in pretty soon and we can actually see what's going on and that it'll be warm out there. Right now it's 2 down arrows. Oh, 3. All right. About another hour or so till the morning. So it's either solitaire or sleep. All right, a little bit of solitaire.
Eat anything right about now.
Okay, Will's super hungry. The winds appear to be nasty outside. Okay, we have begun our journey back over to where the saplings might be. There could be some saplings right next to our house, but I have no clue about those ones. Saplings to me are super rare to find. So I'm looking for the maple. I wonder if kind of like you can get acorns for coffee, you could get maple from a tree.
Kind of thirsty.
Similar to the maple syrup. Probably not. It's a beautiful morning. The pinkish hue comes with the sun on day 4 for Will the Ninth. A day full of hopes and dreams as we head to a random island on the other side there near Jackrabbit Island. An island that is
Through another night.
an island that might have the saplings. There's a lot of hope in the air. I think it's coming from one person, but it's still there. I see it floating by. Will has hope. He has self-belief. The confidence of 1,000 wills. Alright, auto walk. One of my favorite features. So we're going to drink some water. And we'll also look for some crows up ahead. If we can see crows circling ahead, we'll know that that's an area that potentially either has a doe or something downed. So we can do a little scavenging. If the food situation continues and we can't find any downed deer, then let's head up to Jackrabbit Island and loot that guy's cabin. And see if he has some pinnacle peaches. That's a perfect clear morning. It's looking up. It's headed our way, Bull. We're doing this. We're getting the saplings, and we're going to get some delicious food. So the island that I've been talking about is kind of dead ahead beyond those logs right there. It's like a mini island. If you had the Magnellans, you could start the fire in the light. You're right. We're going to keep an eye out for the Maglens, or the Fire Striker. Affliction, hypothermia risk. Okay, so it's time to hold up in a hut and start a big fire.
Cold.
Our HP is descending each little 5 seconds, it appears. Okay, this fishing hut is where we'll start our fire. Looks like there's some deer over there, or maybe timber wolves. That would be a nightmare. The sequel to the Nightmare on Coastal Street. It's when the Timberwolves come after us.
I need some water.
Alright, well, we're doing this. Well, this one has a door. Okay. Alright, so we're going to hold up in here. We're going to get that 20C from the coal. And we're going to drink some delicious toilet water.
Come on.
If we're super lucky, we're going to find ketchup chips in these drawers.
Fire's life out here.
Sure is. All right. All right, no ketchup chips. Simple tools. Let's drink some toilet water. And maybe just chill out for a little bit while we're warming up. We're going to melt some snow. Which in TLD world you can do anywhere. Even if you're in a cave with no snow around you, you can melt it. This door has a hole. You can actually check out what's going on out there. Sweet. Okay, so the temperature is rising and we're going to get rid of our hypothermia risk in no time. Okay, now we play the waiting game. We're roasting our chestnuts here in the fishing hut. We got 2+ arrows for the temperature. And if we can get above at least 50% on that before taking off, that should give us enough to harvest a sapling and get up to Jackrabbit Island or whatever else the plan is. Go back. So I think that's what we can do. Patience and responsibility. Will the Ninth will persevere. Okay. Field hypothermia risk. Alright. Let's take this bad boy. Then we'll take a bunch of torches as well. Alright. This is our moment. We're headed to this little island over here. Here we go. So the food thing is definitely an issue. Crows above or Jackrabbit Island for sure. Any sort of carcass would be amazing. Okay, so we're really hopeful that one of these two little mini islands here are going to have sapling of the maple type. This is it. All the key things are coming together. I do see some crows, but I think that's the guy with the backwards hat from before over there on the left. I don't believe that that is a carcass, and I think it's just one dude. We might be in sapling territory. I'm gonna throw this down. Then I'm gonna light this other one. Okay. This is where the saplings usually spawn. And by usually, I mean I found it one time. Yes! The glorious green sapling is here. The final piece to making the bow has been acquired. Now we just have to dry for 6 days. Boy, that's a long day. We're going to have to survive for those 6 days. So now the name of the game is sustenance. Holy crap. Here we go. Alright, let's make sure that there's no animal over here, because if there is, we're in the big time. I'm so excited right now. Affliction hypothermia risk. Oh, it's another human. Okay, I was hoping this was an animal here. We're not going to be cannibals. That's crazy. So this deer, let's throw a home run shot. We only have one stone, but we can get one right here. All right, this is one for everybody in the north. Oh! All right, so that was silly. Maybe he'll get eaten by the wolves now, and we can go and mess with him then. What if we could push him towards the wolves? That might be smart too. All right, we'll check Jackrabbit, and then we'll do deer pushing if we don't find anything in this guy's kitchen. We got plans. We have reached Jackrabbit Island. So I mentioned early that Jackrabbit might be one of my favorite locations for a long run, and that was until I realized that it actually doesn't even have a fireplace. So without that, I believe that Jackrabbit's probably going to be on the outs for my forever home. So I'm keeping my options open. I know this is super interesting stuff. You guys are glued to these comments. Like, wow, man. This guy's actually thinking about living on Jackrabbit for a long run. What a great tidbit. Beef jerky!
Just what I need. This'll come in handy.
Okay.
Just out of
Fresh Lake Whitefish, baby.
Just what I
And
need.
Summit Soda. Oh my gosh. It's happening. Yes. All right, so we have a little bit to eat now. So we're going to take this maple sapling back to the gas station so it can rest easily with his friends. And then it's just about going out and looking for food. Gosh. So pumped. Okay, rummaging through people's cabinets. One of our finest survival techniques. Oh, plaid shirt.
That'll come in handy.
It sure will, Will. Warm and cozy. And we're going to look like John Goodman. We're going to be warm. We got ragged sports socks. Oh, here we go. Searching the suitcase.
I think I can
Ragged
use this.
cotton toque. Okay, so our hypothermia is out of here. About to have the meal of our life. Okay, we're doing a little bit of goblin stuff right now. Probably more than I need to. So that's it. Checking around. Let's chow down on this moldy beef jerky and fresh whitefish. Okay, it's above 20%, so I believe if you eat stuff above 20%, you can survive to tell the tale without getting a stomachache. Excellent. Fresh lake whitefish. It's a bit tasteless, but it's better than nothing, and that is for sure. A beautiful fillet. And some corn syrup to wash it down. Okay, we are in solid position right here. Let's see, we got a lot of daylight left. So let's say we do some food action. Let's try to get a big stock of food because we're going to be held up in the gas station for about 6 days. So we're going to have to look for a doe, push that doe towards a regular wolf. The wolf will take out the doe, and then we swoop in with the pump fake trick. Okay, we have a plan. And a beautiful day with which to carry it out. Okay, Operation Push the Doe Towards the Deer commences. Okay, here's our first potential doe push. Now, we definitely don't want to get mixed up in those timber wolves, so we're going to try to find the darker fur and not the white gray fur of the wolf. Okay, who do we got over here? Looks like a few deer over this way too. And if we can get one of those 10-point bucks, there's going to be probably kilograms for days of venison you can acquire. So what a treat it would be to push one of these 10-point bucks towards a wolf that could do our dirty work for us. Okay. Okay, those wolves over there are timber wolves. We're going to keep a wide berth from those guys. I've met some of those guys in Timberwolf Mountain, and they do not give up. They're nothing but trouble. Okay, so we're going to try to scare these guys that way. Alright, run, guys. Yes. Not towards the Timberwolves. Okay, here we go. I was wondering why I was getting slow, and it's because I'm walking into the wind. Another amazing mechanic of TLD is that when you're walking towards the wind, you actually have a tough time with it. So that's pretty cool. Uh-oh. I might have wasted a match. Yes! Okay, so I'm looking for the wolves, and they're actually tough to find right now. Let's try to scare this guy towards the house. Go the other way! Go the other way! No! Alright, you guys are being indignant.
Never felt so cold in my life.
Don't go that way, this is Timberwolves. Okay, so Operation Push a Deer towards the wolves. It's been pretty tough so far. The only wolves around are timber. So it might be time to either hold up in the shack and get some heat, which is probably the move, so we can keep staying out here in this daylight. There's a pack of 4 Timberwolves over there. Good thing Coastal Highway has a nice supply of deer, so there's a larger chance that most of the time when you go outside, you'll see something. I see some deer fly or crows flying overhead over there. Candy bar. Okay, what say we go over and start a fire by those crows, which is hopefully what we're looking for, a downed deer or something. Anything but a dude. Okay, we're here at the log sort now. See crows, and we're hopeful. And I think I see a deer, baby. Let's hope it's not ravaged. Looks a bit ravaged, huh? Okay, 1.2 kilograms of meat is totally great. Bang. So we're going to light a torch after crafting it. Ooh, that was an HP disaster. Okay. That was probably not worth the match that I saved, but you live and you learn, I suppose. So let's do some torch lighting. And now fire starting. Okay, we're going to throw coal and then cook up some of this delicious deer. Not much, and it's ravaged, but it's better than nothing. Oh!
Waste of damn time.
Stay positive, Will. You're the ninth of your kind. And you know how to start fires now and know about the 20 Celsius boost from coal. You have the true key to survival in your ninth paw. Will is like a cat. He has 9 lives.
It worked.
Okay. Here we go. Okay, 2 kilogram of deer coming up, baby. And we got 3 up arrows on our temperature, even being outside. This is the best. Okay. 14 minutes on that one and 44 over here. I wonder what you could make out of deer hides. Let's see if there's any cool clothes that are worth it during a tournament run. Deerskin boots take 2 hides and 4 guts, and you can make amazing shoes, 2.5 Celsius. That is pretty good. There's also pants for 3. Okay, those are the 2 deer things, is pants and boots. That might be worth getting the hide and trying to see if we can collect a few. And also the guts. Either the pants or the shoes would be great, really. Okay. How long does the hide take? An hour. Oof. Venison cooked. Okay. Here we go. 30 minutes there. We got 35 minutes on the fire. Grab this feather for our arrowheads. The fire's keeping us 3 arrows warm here. It's about 11:45, 12 noon. And we should probably just keep looking for food. That seems to be the name of the game. If we can actually push a brand new deer into these wolves, we're going to get so much venison we won't know what to do with. It's going to be the greatest thing ever. And it'll probably last us the appropriate amount of time. It's also smart if we circle back towards the gas station and get this maple curing, because right now we're walking around with it uncured. So let's go home and take the maple to join his friends. Here we go. This is it. Oh, that did not give me the amount of juice I was looking for there. Okay, I'm burning a coal for torches. I also wonder if your torches last longer if you pull them out of coal fires, and I bet they do. Because it looks like sometimes you get a little bit more length on your torch. Okay, here we go. We're going home. Cure some maple. Okay, since it's foggy, I'm going to take extra precautions by finding the road, using it as our guidepost. I think we have a pretty great responsibility plan. Push a deer into a wolf and get like 5 kilograms worth of venison. Store it there in our gas station. It'll be a smelly gas station that'll attract wolves, but we probably won't have to do too much traveling. You can melt a lot of snow with fires and eat the venison. One thing I've never dealt with is scurvy, though. So hopefully I won't eat so much venison that I end up getting the pirate's curse of eating too much meat and not enough veggies and fruit. So this has been a very, in my eyes, pretty successful run. We made it from Pleasant Valley over here today. The coal has changed everything and kept our temperature from plummeting. Our HP is kind of weak right now, so a good long sleep this evening will hopefully boost us back up to around 50%. Because doing a run with Frostbite is pretty tough on your vitals. Okay, exclusive trunk. Okay, we're leaving. There's also a little mine that's one way. And if you're walking along this road on the left up here, you'll see a mine entrance. And it supplies you with a ton of coal as well. So one thing we don't have to worry about is running out of that delicious, amazing, warm coal. Definitely delicious. Okay. Back to the gas station we go. So we made it over here from Pleasant through the abandoned mine that provided us with all that coal. And now we're at our favorite base location, the Quonset gas station, where we have all of the bow stuff curing. This is the second or third time maybe we've had all the stuff ready for us. But we've never had the fired knowledge we've had before. So we're actually able to maintain temperature thanks to the tutelage from the wonderful TLD folks giving very poignant advice. Coastal town site. So I'm pretty happy laying our head down for this session after what we've accomplished. Okay. Guess what, guys? I have some maple for you. He's joining the party. There he is. Now, I gotta go make sure that the bow doesn't need 2 maple saplings and it only needs 1. Let's see. Survival bow. Nice. Okay, 1 maple sapling, 2 cured gut. And it'll take 5 hours. So, I think we're going to have to make a hatchet or an improvised knife if we plan on doing this. Because I don't know if you can do it without one of these things. Uh-oh. We might have another thing to do here. Let's see. Hatchet or improvised knife. Okay, let's try this crafting menu. Here we go. Improvised knife is at the forge. Oh no. Okay. So what we might have to have is the bow creation at the forge, where we also create a hatchet right before the bow with a workbench because we won't be able to do it without it. So it looks like you need a forge and 5 scrap metal, and you can make this improvised hatchet. And then when you go over to the bow, you'll see that you actually need one of these tools if you plan on getting it done. So we're going to have to make that in addition to the bow. So we got ourselves kind of a sub goal to make it the forge as well. Got it. Okay. That's exciting. Oh, you can even make a coffee table. Okay, so I think that there it is. We've done the greatest things. We've had luck on our side a little bit with some of the spawn locations. We'll need a hammer to use the forge. Yeah, we got the heavy hammer over here, Bull. Check this out. Boom! We found this in the Red Barn over in Pleasant Valley. It was on the second level of the bench. Yeah, so we got the hammer. So I guess we'll make the hatchet, the improvised hatchet, over at Desolation Point. when we travel through Crumbling Highway and get to Desolation to the Forge, we'll make the hatchet there, which gives us the ability to make the bow there too. I didn't even know that the hatchet was a requirement to crafting the bow until 10 seconds ago. So we're going to have to bring double the equipment to make sure we can make both those once we go to Desolation. We make the bow and then probably come back. If I'm feeling crazy, we'll see what Messy the Moose is about. But I don't know if my first bow endeavor ever in my whole TLD career should be Messy the Moose. So I was thinking probably conservative, boring guy route. Come home with the bow, regroup, make sure we're well fed and everything, and then go back to Messy and go after the wolves and really start the hunt with the freedom of knowing that we have everything else taken care of. All right, so let's go into Blue Outline World to save. There we go. And we'll back out. There it is. Wow, that was unbelievable. It's all about the coal. So if you were a bad kid this Christmas and Santa delivers you coal, don't worry. There's another application. You'll be able to actually use it to get 20 Celsius on your fires. The only thing that'll keep you surviving in these difficulties above Stalker, or maybe like a Pilgrim or something if you're playing in regular survival. The sliders are set high in these tournaments, and you got to make sure your vitals are met or you'll fade into that dark faster than you can believe. This is the best game in history. I love it. The community's awesome. The game is awesome. And it's one of those games where you definitely plan about what you're going to do next time the whole time you're not playing. So for us, that planning is going to be, while our stuff is curing there in the garage, we're going to get a ton of food. Store it in the locker maybe. It's going to be venison. We're going to push one of those deer towards one of the regular wolves, get some delicious food, and then all of our vitals will pretty much be taken care of because we'll have fire stuff, temperature, all those things covered. Then journey across Crumbling Highway and towards Desolation Point to craft our first bow in history. I've been talking about it for 5 episodes, but maybe tomorrow will be the day. Nobody knows. But if stuff disappears from Twitch, make sure to go over to YouTube where it'll always be there and you can see the hunting prowess of Will the Ninth and all of his fallen brethren prior to his arrival. Thank you so much. I appreciate Bull, Atreyu, the Caveman Kaiser coming through, and of course the MVP Blaze taking part in the exclusive locker openings. So thanks again, Bull. You're the man. And we'll continue to forge forward stronger than ever towards survival, thrival. Thank you so much, guys. See ya. See ya. See you later. See you, Bull.